Hello students, a very good morning to all of you. I hope that you all are completing your work properly and you're studying properly at your home. I request you all to watch the videos properly, and if there is any doubt, then you can ask those questions in the comment box. And one of the most important things, complete your copy on time. Uh, the way the lectures are going on, along with that, only you have to complete the exercises also. So listen to the videos carefully, and if there is anything that you are not understanding, that you have to ask, then mention those questions. Try to watch the videos on the same day as they are given, and complete the copy also along with the lectures the way they are going on, because it will be very kind of hectic work for you if you do not complete your work along with the lectures, because at the end time you will be like, where is this PDF, where is the video, and you will get a lot of confusion in completing your work and understanding topics. So listen to the lectures accordingly, like lecture 1 and then lecture 2. Do not start the lectures listening to the lectures from in between. I hope that you'll pay attention to all these things and to the lectures, the things that are being taught to you. So listen to the things carefully, and today we'll start with the lecture and the further exercises that we have to solve. First of all, we will start with the definition of power set, because some of you have asked for its revision. So, power set is the set of all subsets of a given set. In order to understand power set properly, let us consider an example. Let us consider a set A which has only two elements, 1 and 2. Then, set of all subsets of A are. First, we will write all the subsets of A. So, what are the possible subsets that we can write? Phi, singleton 1, singleton 2, and in curly braces 1 comma 2, because every set is its own subset. So, this also we can write. Now, the collection of these subsets. These are the all possible subsets that we can have of A. So, the collection of all possible subsets of a given set form power set, that is denoted by P of A. Now let us suppose ki if some set is there and it is having m terms, then the number of terms in its power set is denoted by 2 to the power m. For example, here A is having 2 elements, so we have m is equals to 2 and 2 to the power 2. Here instead of m we will put 2, and 2 to the power 2 is 4. Therefore the power set of A will have 4 elements, first, second, third and fourth. So there are 4 elements in the power set of A. I hope that this topic is clear to you, and now we'll move to the next topic. This topic now we'll study about Venn diagram. What are Venn diagrams? Most of the relationships between sets can be represented by means of diagrams, which are known as Venn diagrams. These are named after English logician John Venn. And how do we make a Venn diagram? A Venn diagram constitutes of rectangles. You can see in this diagram that there is a rectangle, and there are closed curves. Especially the closed curve can be in the form of circle also. So mostly we draw circles. So this is a Venn diagram in which we have a rectangle and a circle. Now let us suppose that we have to make a Venn diagram with the given data. We have been given with the universal set, which contains the elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and its subset is given A, which contains element 1, 2 and 3. A is a subset of U, and we have to draw a Venn diagram for this. So the universal set is represented by a rectangle. You can see that this is a rectangle, and this rectangle represents universal set. Inside it we have represented the set A. Now universal set U has the elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and the set A, it has the element 1, 2 and 3. So this circle, this represents the set A, and the rectangle represents the universal set U, and this is a Venn diagram for the given universal set and set A. Now the next topic that we are going to study is operations on sets. In earlier classes we have learned how to perform the operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication or division on numbers. Each of these operations, they were performed on a pair of numbers to get another number. Like we add 2 plus 3 to get 5. So here plus is the operation which we are applying on two numbers, 2 and 3, to get the result 5. So this is about the numbers, but now we are studying sets. So we will study about some operations that we can perform on sets. The first operation that we can perform on set is union of sets, which is represented by this symbol. Let us suppose we have been given with two sets A and B. Then we define A union B equals to, in curly braces, X is such that X belongs to A or X belongs to B. For example, let us consider a set A which has elements A, E, I, O, U, and a set B which has elements I, O, U. Then we define A union B equals to A, E, I, O, and U. What we do here is that whenever we write union of any two sets, then we have to write each element from both the set at least once. Suppose this is a set A in general, this is a Venn diagram in general for union of two sets. Suppose this is a set A and this is a set B, and they're represented like this, and this is the universal set. Then A union B is represented by this shaded portion, in which each element of A and B has to be written at least once. One time each of the elements have to be mentioned from both the sets A and B. Similarly, we can consider another example also. Let us consider another example where A is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4 and B equals to 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then A union B equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which means that whenever we write the union of two sets, then what we have to do, from both the sets, each element should be present in this union. Okay, so consider these two examples in order to understand the union of sets. Now there are some properties of the operation of union. Some properties that we have drawn from this property union. So if A is union B equals to B union A, yani ki the commutative law holds in the case of operation of union. That is A union B equals to B union A. Second is ki associative law holds good in this case. Inside bracket A union B, then bracket close, union C equals to A union inside bracket B union C. Third property is ki A union phi equals to A. The law of identity element, phi is the identity of U. A union phi equals to A. For example, when we have studied in the number system that 0 is the additive identity. So if we add 0 to any number, then we get the same number. So 0 is the additive identity. Similarly, in case of union, phi is the identity. So if we operate phi with union, phi and union with A, that is A union phi or phi union A, then it comes out to be the same set A. Next property is ki A union A is equals to A, and this property is known as idempotent law. And the fifth one is universal set union A equals to the universal set, law of universal set. This is in general representation of union of a set. Again, I'll be explaining this to you. This rectangular box that represents the universal set. This is set A and this is set B. So whenever we write A union B, it implies that each element of A and B must be mentioned one time in the union set, that is A union B. So this shaded portion, this region represents the A union B set. Next thing that we are going to study is intersection of sets, and it is represented by this symbol. Okay. So A intersection B equals to X is such that X belongs to A and X belongs to B. This is the, in general, the representation of intersection of any two set A and B. it will be more clear from the Venn diagram. This is the rectangular representation in which U represents the rectangle. That is, this is universal set A and set B. Now, A intersection B implies to this common portion, that is in A also and in B also. So whenever we write intersection of two sets, it implies to the common elements that belong to the set. For example, let A be a set with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. These are the elements. Let B be a set with 2, 3, 4 and 7. These are the elements of set B. Then we have A intersection B equals to 2, 3 and 4. Whenever we write intersection of any two sets, then we write the common things. Intersection means the common elements have to be mentioned. Like whenever we write union of any two sets, and then in that case, each element of A and B is mentioned once. But whenever we write, the shaded portion is A union B. But whenever we write the intersection of any two set, then the common portion is mentioned as A intersection B. That is, we write only the common elements. Next point is कि if A and B are two sets such that A intersection B is phi, then they are called as disjoint sets. That is, if they have nothing in common, that is their intersection. Whenever we write intersection of any two sets, then we have to mention the common elements. Now, if there is no common element between A and B, then its intersection will come out to be phi. And in this case, we will say that these two sets are disjoint sets. For example, let A be a set with elements 2, 4, 5 and 7 and B be a set with elements 1, 3, 6 and 8. Then clearly there are no common elements in the set A and B. So we will write ki A intersection B is phi, which implies ki A and B are disjoint sets. In the Venn diagram representation, when the sets are disjoint, we draw them like this. There is no contact between the set A and the set B. That is, there is no common portion between these two sets. They are disjoint. Same as we have studied in the case of operation of union, similarly here also we have some properties. So now we will discuss some properties of operation of intersection. First one is ki the operation of intersection holds commutative law. That is, A intersection B equals to B intersection A. Second, it holds the associative law. That is, A intersection B intersection C equals to A intersection in bracket B intersection C. Third one is law of phi and U. That is, phi intersection A is phi and U intersection A is A, because we represent the common thing. So the common elements. So the common element between phi and A. Phi is empty and A must be having some elements. So the common elements between them will be phi. That is, there will be no common elements between them. And when we talk about universal set and A, then the elements that belong to this set will be the common elements. Fourth one is A intersection A equals to A, which is the idempotent law. And the fifth one is ki A intersection in bracket B union C is equal to A intersection B union A intersection C. This is the distributive law. That is, intersection distributes over. The next topic that we are going to study is difference of sets. We have studied the differences in number system, that is 5 minus 2 is 3. So similarly, in case of sets, we can represent the difference of sets. So let us see this, how this will be done. Let A equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and B equals to 2, 4, 6 and 8. Find, first we have to find A minus B and then second we have to find B minus A. So we have made the Venn diagram. A is a set with elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and B is a set with element 2, 4, 6 and 8. Clearly, the common elements between B and A are 2, 4 and 6, which have been represented in this region, and 8 is the element which does not belongs to A, while 1, 3 and 5 are the elements of A which do not belong to the set B. Now, we have to write first. We'll show a minus b. Then what is a minus b? When we write a minus b, then all the elements of b that are present in a, we remove them. So b has 2, 4, 6 and 8, these elements. So we will remove these elements, all these possible elements from a, and then we will be left with 1, 3 and 5. Similarly, when we write b minus a, then we remove all the elements of a from b, like which elements we are having. We are having 2, 4 and 6, which are common to a and b both. So whenever we minus b from a from b, then we will write 8, because it is the only element that is left. This is the diagram. See, in order to understand this from Venn diagram, the common region is having 2, 4 and 6. These are the elements in the common region. So whenever we subtract a from b, then from this set we will remove the terms that are common to b. So we will remove 2, 4 and 6, and then a minus b will be 1, 3 and 5. Similarly, whenever we will subtract a from b, then these elements will be removed and we will be left only with 8. So we have found both a minus b and b minus a through the operation, also the differences of set, and also with the Venn diagram. I hope that these topics are clear to you. You can see that a minus b is not equal to b minus a. Both the values are not equal. So clearly the set a minus b will never be equal to the set b minus a in this case, because they are having distinct elements. In general, if we have to represent the difference of sets a minus b, then it can be represented as x such that x belongs to a and x does not belongs to b, where x is the element of a and it does not belongs to b. Only those elements will be mentioned in the set a minus b. Also, the sets a minus b, b minus a, and a intersection b are mutually disjoint sets. That is, among these sets, nothing is common. Like, they are mutually disjoint. Their intersection will come out to be 5.